And so, happy new month. Today is May 1st, and I'm excited to be with you all here today. It is the first official uh, planning meeting in preparation for our creative carvers and carpenters happening this summer, July 8th through August 8th. And here today we have our Ohio contingent. We know that that contingent is led and hosted by our Baba Shango. I am also here learning more about the gallery in the hood and your new executive director, Charles Ewing. So it's so nice to meet you, Charles. I was hoping that we could begin today with a little introduction of some of the new features of what's happening over at the gallery in the hood. Also, I just want to acknowledge how we got to this point. So I started to mention that a little bit. We began this initiative as a concept. I love ideation. I love new initiatives. I love uh, the inception of idea, taking something from it just being inkling or notion to bringing it forward in full circle into an actual physical manifested institution, initiative, exchange. And so I just want to take a moment to acknowledge Baba Shango and Mama Ade for being our connection, our Thai elder connection to Ohio and our connection to Baba Shango in Columbus. We began our relationship as an organization, the Teaching Artists Institute, with our initial invitation to the festival that you host, the Gallery of the Hood, every year. We came to participate in that, and we hosted a Taste of Tanzania. That was after Mama Ade used the gallery as an example in her research, um, looking at the connection between community placemaking and art for social transformation and the playground, the Sankofa playground that is across the street from the gallery in the hood. And so after she did that research and then came with us to Tanzania to talk about her research and to demonstrate how she could use you in Columbus as a model for organizations around the world to learn about community engagement and to learn about community development and placemaking. After she did that, we came back to the gallery again to tell people about it. And so we did that at your festival in 2021 of August. And wow, we've had many touch and go points over the past 3 years. You hosted one of our community conversations last August. And during that conversation, we realized that we were sitting inside of a historic institution and that Baba Shango himself, um, he still had some work to do. I know he's already done a lot. And I know he, in many ways, is ready to sit down and sit back and look at what he's accomplished and marvel at that. But we said to ourselves as an organization, no, there's a lot more wisdom in that brain. There's a walking, talking library that we need a generation of young people to be exposed to. This is a model. His life's work is a model that needs to be captured before it's too late, before he transitions to the next realm and it's just a story. We need these skills around community revitalization, around carpentry and plumbing, and a passionate commitment to understanding and practicing African origin, spirituality, promoting and preserving the African identity in the diaspora. This, as an organization, is what we see is Baba Shango's life's work. And we said, how can we capture that as a program? And then we developed the creative carvers and carpenters. Baba Shango is a carpenter. He's also a master plumber and a carver. Charles, I'm sure you know that well. Um, And he's also committed to community development, and he's the solution to the housing crisis in Columbus. We need that work for young people in Baltimore and Ohio still. There are other regions that need to be considered. And we need our young people to begin to get back in the trades, to understand their indigenous lens, their sense of self in the symbolic landscapes that they live on. And so this is our first year. I don't want you to think we're coming to this table with all the answers. We are not, but we are willing to try. We are willing to incubate this initiative alongside you. And so it's nice to see a new face and to know that there's another set of hands on the team to help us build. And so I'm gonna pass this over to Mama Ade to say a few words of welcome now that I've laid a foundation for what our discussion is. And then we're gonna talk about some of the time-sensitive logistical things that need to happen in order for us to be effective in our first year of this initiative. Mama Ade?
Sure. Alafia Baba. I love you dearly. I love you. I'm wonderful, wonderful. Charles, greetings. How are you? Good.
Yeah.
So welcome aboard. I'm sure we'll have much more time to get to know each other even better and talk more about especially this initiative with the Creative Carvers and Carpenters project. This was born out of a download that Kim had when we were all sitting around and she was seeing all of the amazing carving work that Baba has done and all of that, and saying we can't just let this go by the wayside. We have to get young people involved. And she is a waymaker. She is a community person that sews society together globally. And I'm just pleased to be a part of the network, the Teaching Artists Institute network. When we did our talk of Tanzania, when we came back and told about all of the wonderful things we had done in Tanzania. They say Tanzania, we say Tanzania, but they say Tanzania. Well, we came and gave a wonderful presentation. And from that presentation, there have been several women who have gone to Tanzania back and forth with Kim since then. And this thing just keeps growing and building. And as she said, we came there in, was it August or September, and did another community event. So we keep moving forward. I think it's so important. I've known Baba for 36 years. Oshun gave me to Baba 36 years ago, and we've been riding strong ever since. He's been taking good care of me ever since then, or we take good care of each other.
Yes.
And so this piece is an important part, and the thing that that I want to make sure we keep inserted in there is how Baba is not only a gallery owner, but he knows how, what do you call that?
Curate.
A curator. And so we want to make sure that these young people have physical skills, but knowledge and that spiritual connection as well. When he does his spiritual geometric designs, those signs and symbols, and how to be able to read that, not only read that, but be able to connect to that is so important. Grown folks don't know that.
Right.
Grown folks don't know. But we need to make sure that these young people are brought along because they're more open. They're more open to the knowledge. Yes, Bob.
An interesting that's happened recently at the gallery. I've had two sculptures out there for over 25 years. One was the sacred geometry,
Mm-hmm.
the Pythagoras theorem, A plus B square equals C square, and it was made of copper. And then also we had the pyramid. It was
Mm-hmm.
made of copper, and it's been out there over 25. But someone as recently has vandalized and stole both pieces.
Uh-uh.
They're no longer there. They're
Wow.
gone. I have pictures of them. But
Wow.
yeah, first one, I think two white guys, elderly white guys, took them, and they were confronted by a neighbor at gunpoint, so they dropped it. And then the
Mm.
second time, I think someone saw them as like 4 in the morning 2 days ago, and it looked like four possibly Mexicans carrying it off and carrying it to a white pickup truck. So that's the
Mm.
info I've gotten. But they've been there so long, but also they were
Mm.
symbols,
Mm-hmm.
signs.
Mm-hmm.
It sent out a message, and I guess some energy didn't no longer wanted those matches to reject it. But we have Abde Akafeke's grandson. I met him in Oshobo, Nigeria in '98. He's due
Mm-hmm.
to come back, and he's creating a statue of Shango that'll be 8 feet tall, and
Yes.
it's he's working on that. So we'll replace it uh, with that. So I'm not. It's just change. I'm not, really upset about
Exactly.
it, but
Exactly.
and I believe in karma, so and I
Mm-hmm.
wish them no ill will, and I even forgive them for taking it. But they just open the door for something new to
Something
come
new.
along.
Exactly.
So I just wanted
Exactly.
to throw that out there. I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, no, 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 and I appreciate you saying that. Because you know, the thing about it is you give so much. You give so much to so many. I just don't like when people just take from you. I don't like it. And so I get upset for you because you you are so even keeled, and you're a Shango. I know how Shango is. And but you're just so even keeled with it. But I'm upset for you. I'm
Mhm.
upset for you. But again, like you say, it's change. And
I have a lot
so
of I have a lot of old Batala around me also, I think.
yes, yes, that's such a blessing. That's such a blessing. Um, but like you said, it gives room for something new,
Yeah,
and which is even bigger and better than what they thought.
yeah.
So to see Shango stand 8 feet tall, I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad at all. I say, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
let them get a load of this.
yes.
Yes, indeed. So to have young people to be my first piece, Baba taught me how to carve. And my first piece was a statue of Shango.
Mhm.
And the Oba, the king of Oyotunji, came to visit Baba's gallery. And he took that piece, and it now sits in Oyotunji in the Shango shrine. So that's my claim to fame as a new carver. And I can't wait to get in there with this program with these young people because it's meditative.
Mhm.
It's meditative. Being to get something out of your head, out of your spirit, and onto this wood and seeing it come alive and manifesting and the energy that you put into that, these kids will learn so many valuable lessons about themselves, about community,
Mhm.
about Ubuntu, the
Yeah.
spirit of Ubuntu. Um, and all of those lessons are so very important for all of we to instill in these young people and in ourselves. Because even though we're talking and teaching, we're learning as well. that the notion of being a bucket and a sponge, being a bucket to pour out your knowledge and your wisdom and your overstanding, your understanding, and a sponge to soak up, because I learn every time I teach young folks, I learn something from them as well. So I think this exchange, this cultural exchange with Baltimore youth and Ohio youth, and dare I say that every time we do a little something, it continues to grow beyond our wildest expectations. And while we have elders on board who are ready, willing, and able to give of their knowledge, their wisdom, we need to take advantage of that, because too many folks are leaving here and they're taking all of their knowledge with them, and it leaves a void. So to see
Not if
young
we have
men,
anything to do with it.
that's right, that's right. And so we're going to be right right in it. And Charles, I applaud you for sticking with and being with Baba. Get all you can. Get all you can. And so that we can continue this legacy and move things forward. There's been so many people that say they talk a good game, but when the rubber hits the road, where they at? And so, you got to have heart. You got to have tenacity. You have to have honor. You have to be a man of your word, and all of those things are things that are a part of Baba Shango Obadina's legacy. And I look forward to working with you to move that forward.
Yeah, I feel the same. I'm honored. Like, I'm overjoyed actually that he would even want to work with me. I've been kind of preparing my whole life for this moment. Things that have come my way that haven't been a fit, and this feels like it's a natural fit. And if any way that I can help, I'm his hands, I'm his sword. Whatever he needs me to be, that's what I'll be. And this is I can't even really express. I'm tongue tied because this is wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely.
For me to be this close to somebody that means so much to this community. Even before who he was or what the building was, it stood out because the flag was out front, and that flag was like that, that we all recognize, and we, even if we didn't know, we knew that. And so to even have my name anywhere on a stone in the yard of that, and I don't take it lightly at all.
Good. Yes. Awesome.
So, Charles, can you tell us a little about who you are and the new position that you're going to be playing in the museum or in the gallery, as well as potentially for the Creative Carvers and Carpenters program for this summer?
Yeah. So, I'm a creative who's been at it for a while. And found myself here. Found myself here with the right mind, with the right spirit to do the work. My role is to make sure that Baba's vision carries forward, that the things that he started are preserved, they're honored, that we go about it the right way, that we connect with young people, we honor the ones whose history has brought us to this point. We continue to honor them, but at the same time, we look forward and want to bring it into the way that the art world is being consumed, being collected, being bought through digital and all these other different mediums. So connecting with the young folks, bringing it over the horizon, making sure that it's ready for tomorrow. So that's my main obligation, my main duty that I've been tasked with. And but the most important thing is to carry forth what he started, to continue what he started and not skip a beat. We be recognizable. So anybody who comes to those names that you've mentioned, if they you know, when they decide to come back, that that the place is recognizable, that the spirit is recognizable, that the work is recognizable. So that's my main concern. That's my main duty right now. And it's to learn and to be open to whatever he wants to pour into me, to be that vessel for that. And so that's the thing that I'm most concerned with at this moment, is just to be present, to be that sponge that you were talking about in that bucket, so that when it's my turn to pour out, that I'm pouring out the right things for the right reason, doing it the right way. Because obviously he's done it the right way. I mean, there's no denying that what he's done, what he set forth, is correct. And so it's not about changing or anything like that. It's just making it so that that is ready for tomorrow.
Sustained. Exactly.
So
Awesome.
have you been able to watch the YouTube link that we sent out, the conversation between Baba Shango and Baba David Coyote, as well as the description or the program overview for the Creative Carvers and Carpenters initiative?
I haven't watched the whole thing. I watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched the whole thing. Like, I watched the part where actually we have a podcast with Baba. And so it was sort of similar to things he was talking about, is how they, you know, they hold their square in Nigeria, you know, how they hold their square, like the priestess who's able to push back an whole army just by, you know, the way he handles their business. So I caught that part. And I've seen Baba work. Like, Baba's actually we were over there earlier today, my wife and I was telling him how Baba has taught my son how to carve. And so, you know, I'm familiar with I haven't got into the nuts and bolts of it. I haven't, but I will.
Okay. So I think at this point, we definitely, first of all, welcome to the team. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited that you have already had experience with Baba's instruction for your son. Hearing that gets me really amped up, because it means that you guys have already captured some of the ways in which we can maybe potentially deliver some of the lessons and skills. And so that's going to be important as we pilot this initiative. And so I think that, hold on one second.
Oh, brother, when you get a chance, you have to stop by, and we have to do that thing for Greater Columbus Art Council to thank them for the $500 grant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is it okay if I come by tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, I bet. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Yeah, anytime. Whenever it's convenient.